I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? Everything my father told us, every day I'm getting older. Weight of the world on my shoulders, feel like I'm lifting up boulder. Feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? Everything my father told us, every day I'm getting older. Weight of the world on my shoulders, feel like I'm lifting up boulders. All I hear is lies and excuses, what you talking for? I am the original, no I'm not a copy, bruh. Woke up when I heard the truth, I wasn't sipping coffee, bruh. 1 + 1 ain't 42, you know this ain't adding up. Told us if we wanted change, we would have to vote for it. Showed Obama everything, all he did was just ignore it. Crime bills did us bad, then they came with war on drugs. Now there's a pandemic, everybody's scared to hug. Ask me how I feel, truthfully, I don't give a damn. But ask me what I think, I'll tell you who the devil is. Ask me what I know, I'll show you where them devils live. They on top of everything, you know who the devil is. Black folks going through it, ain't no more community. The truth is what I'm standing on and learning my identity. Keep the law and love your brother, that's the only remedy. And for my dead homies, I'm forever pouring Hennessy. I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? Everything my father told us, every day I'm getting older. Weight of the world on my shoulders, feel like I'm lifting up boulder. Feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? I feel like I'm running, but what am I running from? Everything my father told us, every day I'm getting older. Weight of the world on my shoulders, feel like I'm lifting up boulder. I feel your pain, I know your struggle. Go on and dry your tears, break them chains off your spirit. Now you running things, playing for the win. Damn right, we want the W. One hater is not enough, so they'll try to double you. Just focus on your mission, keep on pushing, never giving up. Babylon is falling, that's the shit I'm praying for. I seen that look, that's in your eyes, you a king, homie. Never ever trust a sister, don't buy into that dream, homie. Any weapon formed against me, I know it will not prosper. I heard the truth and changed my life, that's my rocket launcher. Let's put this bitch in motion, making moves without emotion. Take a sip of the hip potion, if it burns that mean you growing. Ain't no time for running, but this is what it feels like. All I do is tell the truth, some may call it real life. I know we fucked up now, but one day we gon' get it right. Kings of the earth, so it's time for us to live right.
All right. Shalom, Israel. You live with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Priest and Captain Soccer will hold down the class live from Memphis, Tennessee. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes here in Memphis from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. All the brothers and sisters tuning in. If you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, and surrounding areas, get them in contact with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Since 1969, the ISUPK has been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. And in the year 2026, there's nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on this earth. So what we like to do with these classes is give brothers and sisters an opportunity to go into this book called the Bible to gain the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High has put inside of this book so that we can come back to being the people the Most High called us to be and reclaim our righteous place on the earth as kings, priests, princesses, and daughters of Zion. With that being said, I'd like to start the class off with questions. If any brothers and sisters online have questions, type them in. If any brothers and sisters have questions in the room, raise your hand and I'll call on you. And if there are no questions, then we'll get into the topic of today's class. What you see on the screen is answering the call. All right, answering the call. The topic of today's class comes from just the experience that many of us have shared in remembering the day when the Most High began to show us that his purpose for our life was to serve him. You know what I'm saying? For many of us who found the truth or in the truth, the whole reason why you were able to receive the truth when it was presented to you was because of where you were in life at that time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm gonna share my personal experience in this class, but in the Bible gives us many accounts of many men and women who served the Lord, of the time when the Lord began to visit them and called them to serve him and how they responded. And so we're gonna go into some of those scriptures today, show you, some of these prophets that were called by the Lord when they knew that the Lord was calling them, you know what I'm saying, where they were in life, how they responded, and hopefully for, brothers and sisters who can relate, it can give you a little bit of reassurance or, just uh, give you that strength in knowing that being here in this day, in this time, tuning into the ISUPK, learning these scriptures, learning how the Bible applies to your life is definitely something that is of the Most High. You know what I'm saying? I know for many brothers and sisters, when you first come into contact with the truth, man, it's the most amazing thing that ever happened to you. You know what I'm saying? Learning some of these things that's in the Bible and being taught these precepts and these breakdowns, it's like, man, I never learned these things in church. You know what I'm saying? But there can come a time for brothers and sisters, you've been here for a while and you start to, gain a lot of knowledge and understanding, you can kind of forget some of the preciousness of being new to the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know me, I've been in the truth for a short time, but the time that I've been here, I can acknowledge that there have been periods in my life where it's like being in the truth becomes so normal to you that you forget about the people that there's a millions of people who don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take for granted this knowledge and this understanding we have with the Bible. And we look at a lot of people who claim to obey God and serve God and you know, look down on them for their hypocrisy, not knowing or not acknowledging that they were never taught some of the things that we've learned. You know what I'm saying? And so I think classes like this are good to just bring us all back to that day and that time when we first began to receive the truth and first began to know the Lord the way that we know him. You know what I'm saying? And for new brothers and sisters, it can be a reassuring thing to know that, you're not crazy and what's going on in your life is not as unusual as you may think it is. It's happened to men and women in the past when the Lord came to visit them. All right. So I do see a question in the class. Princess Asa from out in California says, Shalom, Cap. I wanted to know, what can I do to have my husband understand that we are different? And sometimes I'm off, especially when I'm on my flower. He says he understands, but I don't think he does. Okay, when you say you don't think he understands, why don't you think he understands? Why don't you think he understands? You understand? And for any woman out there who's married, I think it's important to know that we as men may not always respond or react the way that you think we should, or the way that you may want us to, especially when we know that what's best is giving you what you need as opposed to what you may want. You know what I'm saying? So just give me a little bit more of why you say he doesn't understand. You don't think he understands when he says he does. Because there may be, for any man, any relationship, man and a woman are together for a certain period of time, you began to understand each other's patterns and routines. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot is made of women when they on their flowers and the changes they go through emotionally and, their sensitivities and things like that. But men have cycles as well. Of course, it ain't no flower, but if you learn a man enough, you'll learn that men also have certain periods of ups and downs, certain periods where we flowing and in the groove, and then periods where we kind of, in a funk a little bit, or just might not be ourselves. And usually when that time comes for a man, just give him a little bit of space, give him a little bit of time, he'll come back around. But and a man learns the same thing about his woman. You know what I'm saying? That before that time of the month comes, she might get a little antsy, a little anxious, a little argumentative, a little irritable. And then her flower comes and she's vulnerable and weak and emotionally, different things like that. And so as men, we learn our wives to love our wives the way the scriptures say, and we know that there's times where we got to fall back and let them be, and then there's times that even though you may be feeling some kind of way or you may be going through some things, that doesn't mean you get to inconvenience everybody else or take it out on everybody else. And it's a husband's responsibility to know his family, know his woman, and know when to lay off and ease up and when to jump into it. You know what I'm saying? So sister give me a little bit more. She says he thinks I'm supposed to be on 10 like him 24/7. I deal with depression and anxiety bad from childhood, and most of the time I don't want to be bothered. Okay, well then sis, that's something that you must learn to communicate in the times when you're feeling that way. Meaning he has to understand that you are not a soldier the way he's a soldier. And that, there may be times where you need to be left alone, right? Don't use the term don't want to be bothered. Just use I need some time to myself. I need to be isolated a bit. I may need some space. You have to learn to use a language that your husband can understand and can, I don't want to say can agree with, but you sometimes with men and women conversing, especially in a relationship, there's times where you can talk with your husband, and then there's times where you may talk at your husband. And it's sort of a fine line, but as a wife, you have to learn how to communicate in a way where your husband can hear you. You have to learn to communicate in a way where what you're saying can be accepted and it's not offensive. As husbands, as men, a lot of times we won't acknowledge or speak when we've been offended if there wasn't rude language involved, right? But saying I don't want to be bothered is rude. It could come across like leave me alone. You don't want to say that. You want to say, baby, I need some space. I'm going through some things mentally, or I'm not there, not where I want to be. I just, I need some time to myself. Find a way to communicate it in a way that signals to him, hey, I'm going through it right now. I'm not really my best. I need some space. Now, in terms of you dealing badly, you're dealing with anxiety and depression, that's something that you need to get some help for. You know what I'm saying? It's not healthy to be in a relationship to know that you battle with depression and anxiety from your childhood and you haven't gone to the doctor, haven't gotten it diagnosed, haven't been received medication, or haven't gotten counsel. And a lot of us, we know we've suffered things in the past. A lot of us, our anxiety and our depression is self-diagnosed. Because we don't feel ourselves, or we don't feel good, or we lack motivation, we say now I'm not, this is not personal. This is just people in general. A lot of the times we know we've suffered things in our past and in our childhood, and we know there's times we want to be left alone and we don't want to be bothered. And so we say, I'm feeling depressed, or I'm suffering from anxiety, when that may or may not be the case. It's easier for a husband to accept my wife is struggling mentally, she's struggling emotionally, if she will accept getting help. But a lot of times, if you're dealing with those things as husbands, we feel like it's our responsibility to help. So if you're feeling down, if you're having a bad day, in our mind, let me make it better. Let me make it right. Most men, we are problem solvers. And being in the truth teaches us as men to be problem solvers. See an issue, see a problem, deal with it. Be aggressive about solving your issues and dealing with things that come up. Don't be passive aggressive. Don't wait and lay back and let a small thing build up and become a large thing. So your husband's inability to leave you alone, or lay off for you, or understand that you're struggling with your mental health things, it could be him trying to solve it. He see you in a funk, he come try to give you a kiss, try to hug on you, give you some affection. He think that's going to fix it. If that's not fixing it, you have to communicate, Hey, baby, that's not helping. But also, here's what can help. So and for brothers and sisters knowing the truth, it can be a difficult conversation for a man to say to his wife, "Well, baby, you should go to the doctor about your depression. You should see someone about your anxiety. It's not okay that you're just depressed and anxious and telling me to leave you alone. Like you pushing me away. I'm trying to be there for you. I'm trying to help you work through it. If you don't want me to help you work through it, then let me find someone who can help you work through it. But to just see you going through it and dealing with it and I'm supposed to do nothing, that's really not acceptable for most men. And so you have to be able to speak honestly and transparently, with your husband. Okay. Okay, boom. So you already sought counsel. You've already gotten help. You know what I'm saying? You're taking your medication. So then now the conversation with your husband has to just be one about its honesty and transparency and being able to communicate in the times that you're not feeling your best, that I'm not feeling my best. And there's not really anything you can do about it. I just need you to give me some space. It may take him time to learn that. It may take him time to understand that. You understand? And you have to allow him to have room for other things in his life that can give him what he needs in those times that you're unable to provide it for him. You understand? Being in that position, it's understandable that as a woman you need space, you need time. You're not always on 10 like he is, but then you also have to be okay with him exercising that being on 10 all the time. If he's not able to get it from you, if you're not in a position to be present and able and available to him when he needs it, then you have to accept that he needs other means of having what he needs. You understand what I'm saying? So part of that communication with him about you needing your space and needing your time to yourself is also you communicating to him if he has to find other ways to get what he needs in the times that you're not able to provide it, then you accept that. But you cannot have it where you can't have him not be on 10. That's just how he's wired. That's the man he is. If you recognize that because of what you need and you desire and what you require, you need him to fall back from time to time, then you also have to give him permission and you have to accept that him being on 20, him being on 10, if he can't give that energy to you, then he has to be able to expel it elsewhere. And that just needs to be an honest conversation that you and him have. You know what I'm saying? If you struggle having that conversation, you can reach out. You can get permission from your husband to reach out. If you're not sure what language to use or how to have that conversation, you could contact General Muhammad. You could contact myself. You could contact the camp leader over your husband. Any of the priests that's in the school. That you can get permission from your husband. You can speak to them about things like that. So, for the sake of not being too personal, take what I just said, think about it, process it. Um, be able to accept that you're requesting for your husband to accept that you're not always on the same time that he's on. Your energy levels aren't where his energy levels are, and there's times that you need space. You need to be able to be to yourself. Express that to him, and also express to him. Now, if that means that you have to find other things or other ways, what I'm saying, to expel that energy or other ways to, you know, get what you need in the times that I'm not able to provide it, then I want you to find that for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you express to your husband that you don't want any of your needs or desires to place any limitations on him. And he may not know what to do with that. He can call and get counsel as well. He can call and can go to the men of the Lord, and the Lord will always provide a way to make sure that you are able to have what you need and to make sure that your husband is able to have what he needs, and neither one of you have to compromise yourselves. You understand? So sister says she understand, and Lord be with you on that. Well, I'll send some prayers up for y'all. But just you take that, and it's forever's a long time. And being married in the truth, there's going to be a lot of difficult conversations that husbands and wives have to have with one another. But it's best to understand this, any difficult conversation that you have to have with your husband or with your wife, you can either have that conversation on your terms or you can have that conversation in the council. It's always best for brothers and sisters as men and women to grow together, to learn how to reach new levels of trusting one another, of loving one another, of being vulnerable with one another. And it's not an easy thing to do. I wish it was as easy as I'm saying it. We tell brothers all the time, don't lie to your woman, man. Tell her the truth. But to sit a woman down who you love and have been with for some years, and to look her in her eyes and to say, hey, baby, I'm thinking about getting another wife. And, whether sometimes you've already met the woman. I met a woman, and, we talking, and I don't know if it's going to go where it's going to go, but I want to prepare you that it might, I might be dealing with someone, and that may have some changes for our relationship. And I just wanted to be honest with you and talk to you about it beforehand, and any issues you may have, you could talk to me about it. Like, that's not an easy conversation. And I'm saying that as a man that's been in the truth for some years and have had some women in my life. And it's like, yeah, we tell, yeah, man, just talk to your woman, sit her down and tell her. Like, how the fuck, excuse my language, how am I going to do that? How am I going to look this woman in the eyes that I love and tell her that I'm thinking about loving another woman? And then what if this woman I'm telling her I'm going to love ain't even worth it? I'm supposed to sit a woman down and tell her I'm thinking about dealing with somebody that I don't even know if I'm going to deal with all the way. Wouldn't it be better if I just waited till I knew I was going to marry the chick and then talk to her? But then if you do that, the conversation kind of weird, because she's like, well, how long you been talking to the woman? And you like, well, 6 months. Well, damn, 6 months you've been talking to somebody and building a whole life, thinking about building a life, and you didn't tell me till now. And it's just like, well, damn. If I told you when I first met her, but then a week later, me and the broad don't talk no more, I just got you all emotional and amped up about some potential woman that don't even exist no more. It's not easy. But as a husband, if you love your woman and you and her have that type of relationship, now every woman ain't fit for it. Some women would rather not know. Some women just, hey, that's your business. That's what you're doing outside the house. You handle your business and don't worry about it. The conversation may not come up until you get the woman pregnant or something else happen, then she want to know. But if you got a woman where y'all been together, man, through thick and thin, and y'all done been through some things, and y'all have a great deal of trust and a great deal of, transparency and honesty with one another, there are some women who can handle and who would prefer you sitting them down and just telling them. As a man, you have to know that the difficulty with game planning how to, sit down your woman and tell her the truth is knowing that you're going to do what you want to do anyway. Like, as men, the class is gonna go. This might be the class to lock in. I know for me, as a man in the world, cheating was, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Yeah, I'm with you in a relationship. I met this other woman. I like her. I'm gonna do it anyway. So the reason why men lie to women and deceive them is because they don't want to face the shame. Men don't want to deal with all the emotions of, why did you cheat on me? Why did you go get another woman? Was I not enough? And it's like, for me having this other woman, that got nothing to do with you at all. You're wonderful. You're an amazing girlfriend, amazing wife. I love you. You're special and beautiful. But I also like her too, though. And I liked her, so I did what I wanted to do. Now, most men don't have what it takes to look a woman in her eyes and say, I don't really care about your feelings either way. I did it because I wanted to. And so we find ways to sugarcoat it. And, baby, I messed up. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have did it. We put on a show and an act, and, oh man, I'm sorry and please forgive me, when really is like, yeah, I don't even care. How do you know a man doesn't care about a woman's feelings when it comes to cheating? Because he cheated. He did not care how it was going to affect you anyway. He did what he wanted to do. It takes a certain kind of strength to be able to be honest with a woman and transparent with that as your in the front of your mind. Meaning, I know this is going to hurt her. I know she's not going to like that I am getting another woman. I know she's not going to like that I have another wife. But I don't care. I don't care enough not to get another woman. I don't care about her feelings enough to say she's the only woman I'm going to be with. So if you're man enough, if you're real with yourself, if you're able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I don't care what she thinks, I'm going to be with another woman, then be man enough to sit her down and say to her, baby, I'm thinking about getting another woman. Just don't be a sucker and don't be a man that's afraid of dealing with her tears or her sadness or her shame. You can't hide from it, Doc. You cannot be a man that wants to have multiple women and never deal with a woman being upset about it. You man enough to be with more than one woman, then be man enough to sit her in her face and tell her, I'm going to get another woman, and then let her cry. Sit there while she cry. Also, too, you tell your woman you're going to get another woman. She break down crying. That is not the time to hug her and to kiss her and to console her. That's the time to let her get it out and be a man and sit there and watch her let it out. Watch her be hurt by you telling her that you want to go and love another woman. And just know that that's the manly part of it. The manly part of it is I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. This is what she wants. I'm telling her before I do it. I know she's upset. I know she's mad, but I'm going to be a man and I'm going to take it. I'm going to handle it. That's my responsibility. That's my job. That's what I signed up for. So let her lay on the tears. Let her be upset. And you just wait and let her get it out. And give her the reassurance that she needs. Listen, baby, this other woman ain't got nothing to do with me and you. You ain't did nothing wrong. It ain't because I'm upset about you. It ain't because I'm mad. You know, we had a baby. You gained some weight, and they got nothing to do with that. Look, I'm able, I'm able to do more. And hey, I think this is something the Lord is showing me that I should do. Now, most women, I can't speak for most women. This woman might have questions. She might want to know why. She might just need some time to absorb it. She just needs some time to get the emotions out and, accept it. But for some women, it's better to just let them know on the front end. Sit them down and have a conversation with them rather than just pop it up and being like, yeah, I got another rib. A lot of brothers make the mistake of thinking because she knows me enough, she knows I got another rib, I just ain't got to say nothing. That's not a proper way to deal with it. You cannot expect a woman knowing you to be enough to accept you got another woman. Most women needed confirmation from you, because not acknowledging you got another wife to a woman that knows you have another wife is like you playing in her face. You know what I'm saying? There's some women they want you to not acknowledge it. They want you to not say nothing. But then there's some women that want you to be a man and just say, hey, I met somebody, I'm dealing with someone, and they can just accept it. A lot of women want that moment of confirmation from you because it gives them some reassurance. It gives them some security. It's protection for their emotions. A lot of women naturally, their minds are always racing. They always wondering if he got another woman. Is he talking to somebody? Is he meeting somebody? Am I satisfying him? Am I keeping him happy? Is this these other women, are they better than me? As a man, you must give your woman the reassurance that she needs to know that you dealing with other women is not a reflection of her. It has nothing to do with how good or bad you and her relationship is. Also, a woman needs to know that her spot in your life is solidified. She needs the security of knowing, listen, I met somebody, I'm talking to her, I might make her my wife, I might not, but nothing is going to change what me and you have. I'm not going to allow another woman to come and take away our happiness, take away our joy. Woman needs that security. How can she get it unless you talking to her and providing it? You know what I'm saying? And then protection. A lot of times women need to be protected from themselves. Don't have her wondering should she go through your phone. Don't have her wondering where he normally come home from class around 6. He been out since until 9 o'clock this last week, and now he going out with the brothers. Normally he'll come home by 10, but he ain't come home till 2 in the morning. Don't think that your woman don't know what's going on. I just be a man and allow her to be a woman and accept it. Let her hear it from you. The best way for your woman to find out that you have another woman is by you sitting down and telling her. Don't let her find out because now you're getting random calls at hours of the night you wasn't getting calls before. You think you put the phone on silent and put the face down. She don't know what the hell going on. She know your phone ringing. She know you ignoring it. Don't let her find out that you got another woman because the broad liking all your pictures on Facebook and Instagram. You think your wife don't go through every picture you post and see who liked it? You think she ain't seeing this random person who lives in your city with hearts under your pictures? You think she don't know what's going on? Don't play in a woman's face, especially not these sisters in the truth, man. These women that's in the truth are they down with you on a whole nother level than what you even can comprehend. Treat that woman like a grown adult and sit her down and talk to her, man. Tell her, listen, look, I met somebody and I'm fond of her and she fond of me, and what I'm saying, I'm doing the right thing, courting her, but I think I might deal with her. So I just want to give you a heads up. She's going to be upset. She's probably going to cry. She might be angry. Just be a man about it, because guess what? She's going to be upset. She's going to cry. She's going to be angry no matter when she finds out. As a man, you gain the respect and the appreciation of your woman when you're the one to tell her. When you're man enough to sit her down, explain it to her, and then face the wrath. If you're going to face the wrath anyway, brother, face it on the front end. Face it because you was a man and came and talked to her. Don't face it because she went through your phone. Don't face it because you did something stupid or it was sloppy in some kind of way. I know you think you're a player. I know you think you the most Mac Daddiest nigga that ever lived. I know you think you came into the truth and now you can have more than one woman, that you just gonna be dripping, daughters of Zion. Brother, you are playing yourself if you think you're gonna be with these women and not have to face the hard part, not do the difficult thing of sitting them down, explaining yourself to them, letting them know what the situation is, and then giving them the opportunity to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And again, what I'm saying now, it sounds easy, but it's not. It's very, it's a manly thing to do, to sit a woman down and tell her that you think about dealing with another woman. It's also maybe one of the most difficult things you'll ever do in your life. But if you love your woman, if you value her, if you treat her the way that the scripture says, that we supposed to treat our wives, then you would do that thing. You would go through that hardship and that difficulty of telling her the truth so that she can accept it and deal with it on her own terms, rather than her having to find out some other kind of way. You do yourself and your woman a disservice. You set your relationship back when you wait and try to be coy and try to go about it a different way. Just be a man. Go about it the manly way. Sit her down, talk to her, tell her what it is, and let her be able to deal with it. All right. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, computer looking good. I think that's it for the women thing. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of you sisters out there, if you have a husband who's unable to be honest with you, if you have a husband that's unable to be transparent with you, the way that you get him to be honest and transparent is not by arguing with him or fighting with him about the things that he's dishonest about. You got to find a way to speak to a man in a way that lets him know that you are a safe space for him, that your relationship with him, your love for him is dependent upon your ability to respect him, and that nothing would make you respect him more than for him to be honest with you about the things that you need to know. You know what I'm saying? As wives of men in the school, I know that y'all know there's a lot of things that we don't talk about, a lot of things that we can't talk about. As men, there's things that we know we must keep to ourselves to not burden our wives. But the things that we can talk about, oftentimes we don't because of a fear of not being understood, or fear of, not being able to trust our woman. If you're a woman who would prefer that your man is honest with you and transparent with you and has the difficult conversations, then you have to provide evidence to him that he can have those conversations without the things he reveals to you later on being thrown in his face. Some of us, are in toxic relationships where when we get mad, when we get upset, we say things that we know will hurt one another. If you are that kind of woman, if you know that in your relationship you've gotten in arguments and fought with your man and said horrible things that you shouldn't have said, then you should accept that that's the reason that he doesn't tell you the truth. That's the reason why he isn't transparent with you and honest, because he's afraid that it'll be thrown in his face later. He may have accepted that, man, it's better to just not tell her nothing at all than to have to deal with the wrath of, what comes out. If you want to reverse that, you have to be able to communicate to your man in a way that lets him know that, look, I might be upset, I might be angry, but I'll be able to get over it if I hear it from you. I might be upset, I might be angry, but I'll be able to process it if you can just tell me rather than me finding out some other kind of way. You know what I'm saying? As women, wives to men, you have to be able to vouch for your dignity, vouch for your vouch for your reassurance, vouch for your security, vouch for your protection. You know what I'm saying? Every man wants to be the knight in shining armor. Many of us think the way to be the knight in shining armor is to solve all your problems and give you good sex and, make you feel pretty. Sometimes a man can be your knight in shining armor by being honest. You know what I'm saying? By giving you a heads up, by allowing you time to prepare for something rather than it just being sprang on you. As a woman, you got to be able to communicate that. You know what I'm saying? It's an unfortunate thing, but I fear it's a normal thing that a lot of men and women don't have conversations with each other, don't talk about the difficult stuff. You know, you got to grow together to a place where you can have those difficult conversations. You got to grow to a place where you're able to be honest and transparent with one another without a fear of being looked at a certain kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not easy. None of it's easy, but that's the point. The point of, nothing worth having in life comes easy. All of us are in the truth to serve the Lord till either we the Lord calls us home and then we pass away, or Christ comes. The kingdom is here. Well, marriage and the truth is that it's forever. It's till we make it to the kingdom or till Christ comes. We don't know how long or how short that time is, but we must be willing to do the difficult things that the Lord requires of us in order for us to make it there. And so a relationship is the same way. If we're going to make it forever, we have to be able to deal with the uncomfortability of having conversations that are difficult so that we can elevate one another, so that we can push one another, so that we can build one another up. And as a husband, you should look for ways to build your woman up. As a woman, you should look for ways to try and, help your man get on a level. And the way you help him get on a level is by being a safe space for him to, be honest, be transparent, talk about those difficult things, and without there being a lot of judgment, without there being, without a man having to feel ashamed for who he is, or, what he think or how he feel. And it's not easy to cultivate that, but if we're going to last, that's something that we got to be able to do. You know what I'm saying? So, the water to Sister Asaf for asking a question to get me on to that. I think it was something that brothers and sisters need to hear. You know what I'm saying? But it's not easy. It's not easy for brothers, but it's really, really not easy for y'all sisters. You know what I'm saying? Because we, as men, particularly men in the truth, we rough. We soldiers. We hardcore. We tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell us to cry aloud and spare not. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't got a lot of room for feelings and emotions and the soft stuff. But that's where you as a woman come in. As a woman, your nurturing and your compassion and your softness is supposed to allow a man to have that same softness in return. You know what I'm saying? Um, Women are women, wives are wives. Meaning, y'all not soldiers. Y'all not expected to be soldiers like we are. Y'all not expected to, be as to deal with things that a masculine man is supposed to deal with. But it takes the gentleness of a feminine woman to allow that masculine man to have a soft spot for you. I'm saying some of you may be with men who don't know how to be soft, don't know how to be gentle and sweet. Well, you can grow with that man to show him that you are the place where he can be gentle, where he can be sweet. You know what I'm saying? You are where you make room for him to express those things. You know what I'm saying? But the way that you get that point across to a man is not by matching his masculinity. You can't match his energy. You can't soldier up to soften him down. You have to soften yourself to soften him. You know what I'm saying? And the way that you speak to a man, the way that you communicate to a man, that goes a long way to him mentally accepting, okay, this is a safe space. This woman loves me. This woman cares about me. The things that she wants to know, the things she's asking is really not too much. You know what I'm saying? Some women, they ask for too much. They ask, I don't ever get another woman. You're asking too much, y'all. I can't, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to get another woman. Be honest with me about if you're going to get another woman or, baby, just please, it would help me a long way, you know what I'm saying, to accepting it if we just had a conversation before. Okay, I could kind of figure that out. I could figure out how to have a conversation with you about getting another woman, but you telling me don't get another woman, that says to me, I don't ever want to know you got another woman. So I'm not going to not get another woman. I just won't tell you about it. Then when you find out about it, you say, why you didn't tell me? Because I knew you would be upset. I knew you was going to be mad. We know how to handle getting caught. We know how to handle, you finding out. We're used to it. We're used to doing whatever we want to do. Then you find out and we got to say, I fucked up. My bad. Salakia, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but what you want me to do? We don't know how to sit you down first and say, listen, this is what I'm going to do. I need you to know. So you, as a woman, you damn near have to create a space for your man to be comfortable enough to learn what that looks like, to find out how to go about that, because it's not a normal, usual thing for us. You know what I'm saying? But it requires women to just be accepting. A lot of women are not accepting. A lot of women, hell, you've never had a man sit you down and tell you it to your face he thinking about getting another woman. So it's not even like you know how to go about creating that space. You got a man who's learning he can have multiple wives. He's had multiple girlfriends his whole life. And the only way he's ever known to go about it is by doing it and then getting caught. Or doing it and then telling the woman, I'm messing with Shawty. And then she mad and upset and you just leave. But men haven't been trained on, this is how you sit her down and you look her in her eyes and you tell her you met somebody. Nigga, what nigga has done that? Only men in the truth have done that. But a lot of brothers don't even call to get counsel to say, how do I tell my woman that I met another woman? Most brothers just do what they've always done, which is just get the woman and then get caught. Then when they get caught, you sad and crying and the nigga like, yeah, my bad. I messed up. I should have told you, but I didn't tell you. And it's not because he's evil or he's a horrible man. It's just, fuck, that's what we always do. What other way is there to do it? How do you be with a woman and get another woman without just doing it? And then she find out about it. Brother, get some help. Call. Get some counsel. If you got a woman that's down with you, that love you, and you make another woman and you talking to her and thinking about dealing with her, Call and find out, well, how do I break this news to my wife? How do I tell the woman that I'm with that I met another woman and I'm thinking about being with her? And the minute of the Lord will give you counsel on that. You know, a lot of brothers make the mistake of just thinking, I'm a man, I know what I'm doing, I'll do it my way, and then the shit don't work. And then you in counsel, and a lot of things come out in counsels that if brothers and sisters just talk to each other, it might not even have to get to that point. But there's a lot of brothers and sisters who are not having conversations in their relationships. They're not doing the hard work. They're not doing the difficult part, which is actually, learning one another and getting to know one another and growing together. And it's absolutely necessary. You, as a man, the place where your woman is when you meet her is not the place where she's going to be in a year or 2 or 3. When you meet a woman, you cannot expect for her to just stay where she's at. You got to meet a woman knowing that you have to make room for where she's going to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years. You got to be able to grow and elevate so that you can stay ahead of her. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers make the mistake of meeting a woman and thinking, well, she's okay with this, and it's going to always be that way. You're playing yourself out. Which means if you got a woman at home and you meet a woman, and this woman you meet is cool with just seeing you one day out the week. She cool with just texting on the phone. You got to know eventually she's going to want to see you more than one day a week. You got to know eventually she's going to want to be able to call you and have a phone conversation. If you haven't been able to be honest with the woman at home that you met another woman that you're thinking about dealing with, you're not going to be able to make room for a second day of the week. You're not going to be able to answer the phone when the phone rings. And that's why you're putting it on silent and putting it face down, because you're like, why the hell is she calling this time of night? Why the hell aren't you answering the phone? Because you've been lying. You can't answer the phone. Her calling shouldn't be a problem. You not answering the phone is a problem. Why you not answering the phone? Because you don't want to make your wife mad. Well, why would your wife be mad that your phone is ringing? Because you haven't told her that you met another woman and you talking to her. You played yourself. You think your wife don't know that the phone just rang and you didn't answer it. And come on, man, you playing a goofy game. And all you're going to get is a goofy prize, because either the woman that you've been dealing with who was okay with seeing you one day a week is going to leave when she can't see you 2 days a week, or your wife is going to be mad when now you're making up reasons why you got to leave for a second night of the week when you didn't really have a good reason for why you was leaving. I guess you just putting yourself in a trap, and you could avoid that trap, brother, if you just be honest with your woman. These women are not goofy. They not stupid. You cannot pull one over on them. You've been with this woman for a year or 2. You have the same routine every day. You weren't even smart enough to make sure that your life was lived in a way that you already had room and space for another woman. So as soon as another woman enters your life, your woman knows about it. You ain't texting on the phone that much normally. You ain't smiling at the phone normally. You smiling at the phone, ain't no video playing. You texting on the phone, smiling. It ain't TikTok, nigga. It ain't, the radio show. It ain't what you listen. She know you ain't listening to nothing. She know you texting and smiling at the phone. You think she don't know that you talking to another woman? You think your energy don't shift and your behavior don't change when you entertaining another woman? It does. And your woman knows it immediately. So for you to linger on and pretend like ain't nothing happening when you know that your woman knows you, you're just being goofy. Then, you meet the woman, you texting her, and then it start to progress, and now you moving, leaving out to talk on the phone. You finding dumbass reasons to leave. I'm going to go to the store right quick. She just did grocery shopping for 2 weeks. I'm going to go to the store and grab a juice. Your dumbass in the car on the phone with a broad, and you think that she don't know what you doing. I'm talking about myself right now, thinking about times when I thought I was being player and being the man when really you're just being goofy. Don't be goofy, because your woman got to watch you be goofy. Don't make your woman watch you be goofy, trying to sneak around, having another woman, having a rib on the side when you could just be honest with her and tell her the truth, because then it'll free you. Then if you sit your woman down and tell her, listen, man, I met somebody, she seemed kind of cool, I'm just talking, but it has potential, it might turn into something. Deal with her being upset and crying and being mad and angry and why. Deal with all of those difficult questions. Answer her questions. Look her in the eye. Be stern about it. Now, the phone ring. You could just let me tap out right quick. Answer the phone. Now it ain't weird. Now you ain't gotta leave the phone on silent and vibrate or whatever the case may be. And you a lot of you times, so it'll free you up at home. It'll make sure your relationship with your woman at home is smooth and everything copacetic. She gonna not like it whenever the phone rings. She's gonna look at you sideways. So what? Oh well, she'll be all right. But then what it does is the woman that is calling, now you think this woman you've been dealing with, you go see one, you seen her one day a week, twice a week, whatever the case may be. You think the broad don't know that you got a woman at home? This woman you just met that you're talking to absolutely knows you have a wife. Now, most of the times, if you're honorable, man, you're honest with the woman when you meet her. Yeah, I got a woman at home. I got, family, and it's a beautiful family. I love my woman, but I'm available. If I meet somebody else and, I see that there's room for us to, build together, then we might build, If you're honest with a woman that you meet, most times men are honest with the new woman. You're honest with a woman that you meet. She knows that when she's calling you, she's calling at a bad time. She's just seeing how you handle it. Your dumbass think that, whatever excuse she give you when she's, oh no, I was accidental, I forgot. She did that on purpose to see what you would do. If you could answer that phone call out at whatever random time of the day she hit you, you answer, hey, Shalom, what's going on? Ain't nothing, something. Okay, all right, well, look, I'm with the family right now. Give you about 10 minutes, I'll call you back. Boom, that signals to her, you can't play with what I got going on here. You can't mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to even call me at this time is disrespectful. Don't ever play with me like that. I'm home with my family. I tell you don't call after 8, it's because I'm with my family. You calling, that's just being rude. You feel what I'm saying? I don't be having phone calls and answering my phone when I'm with you, so don't show me the same respect when I'm here. A lot of times you brothers don't deal with the woman that you meeting and getting with or about to rib or just ribbed up. You don't deal with her in a way where she can accept and be okay in the position or the place that you have for her. You play with her, which make her want to play with you back. You get with a woman. You got a wife. You've been together for years. You get with a woman and you haven't told your wife at home about this woman. Why would you let her like all your pictures on the internet? Why would you let this new broad follow you on social media and like all your stuff without telling your woman? You think your wife does not look at all of your social media postings and go through all your likes and go through the comments? She's going to know that this broad in the same city y'all live in that's liking all your stuff is not just some random person, because random women don't just go and like all your stuff. Now, if you're honest with your woman, first of all, if you're honest with your woman and she knows about it, then oh well, she ain't going to be bothered. But if you really a man about your business and you protecting your woman like you should, this new woman shouldn't even have access to your social media. And if she does, let her know. Don't just be liking everything. You know what I'm saying? Because it brings attention that's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? My social media is where I'm social. I don't need my personal business being all on the internet. I don't need you liking all my posts, liking all my pictures. You could tell me you liked it, you know what I'm saying, or text me you liked it or whatever. But you can't even tell the woman you just met not to like everything, because she gonna say, well, why I can't like everything? You're dumbass. You don't want to tell her, but you're gonna make my wife mad. You should be able to tell her. You should be able to say to a woman you just met, you just dealing with, or you think about making your rib, bitch, I got a wife at home with my kids. Don't piss her off. Well, you liking everything gonna piss her off. That's why you can't like everything. Now, if this woman got a problem with that, that's a sign for you not to deal with her. That's a sign for you not to make her a wife. If she can't respect your woman at home enough to not like all your pictures on social media, then she's already demonstrating to you that she's not a respectful woman. Why would you deal with her? Any woman any woman that you meet or decide to deal with has to respect the fact that you got a wife at home who you care about enough, and her feelings are important to you, that you're not going to let nobody play in her face or put things in her face that's going to be bothersome to her. So this new woman got to know, my social media, you cannot be on there. Tune into the school page. You can't get on my personal page and like my stuff because it's going to be a problem. And if she got a problem with that, then that should be a sign for you not to deal with her. Problem is, you brothers be so afraid of losing out on whatever that you think you're going to gain that you don't even have that conversation with the new bride you met. You meet a woman and talking to her, telling her about the truth and this and that. You think she's not going to go Google the school? You think she's not gonna go find the school page and find you and then find where you was tagged in the picture and find your social media and go through your social media and look at all your page and look at your pictures and find your woman that you posted in there and go to her page and looking. If you're not anticipating all of that, then you're not doing a good job of being a shepherd over your family, over your woman, of protecting and securing what is yours. And so you end up in horrible positions and horrible situations where your woman is feeling like she's being played with, her emotions. She letting some broad play in her face. You're lying to her. You're not being honest about it. You get mad when she asks you what's going on, or you get mad and defensive about her asking who you talking to, or did you get with somebody new? When really you should just have enough respect for her and for yourself to just tell her the truth. Yes, I met somebody. Now you got the woman. You didn't warn her not to like all your social media posts. You didn't warn her not to like all your pictures. She go like all the pictures, go like all the posts. Then your woman come and say, baby, who is so and so? And you say, I don't even know. Nigga, okay. Rule of thumb, brothers. If your woman asks you, who is this woman? She already knows who the woman is. Your woman is never going to ask you about a woman but okay, when your wife comes and says, baby, who is this liking your post? You have to know she's already been to her page. She's already been to her Instagram. She's already been to her Snapchat. She's already looked through all her pictures. She's already looked to her about. She's looked through, and she knows. She's not asking you she's asking a rhetorical question. She's asking you to know if you're going to be honest in that. The woman that your woman comes and asks you, who is this? There have been 50 women before her that she never asked you about because she wasn't convinced enough that this was worth arguing about. So there have been 50 women who she suspected never said nothing about. The one that she asked you about, she already knows. So you should just be honest. You know what I'm saying? Baby, who is this? Some chick that I think I'm going to make my wife. That should be your answer. Some broad I'm thinking about making my wife. Oh, okay. But you say, oh, baby, who is this? I don't know. Now she's looking at you like fucking clown. Look at him fumbling and bumbling, trying to find a lie, find an excuse. And you'll give some dumb thing that later on, when she finds out it's indeed your wife, she's going to say, well, why when I asked you about it, did you tell me she was so-and-so and such and such? And now you got to, again, the shame that you're running from, you're going to have to face it anyway. The not wanting to look at her in her face and be honest, you're going to have to do it anyway. It's better as a man, you maintain your dignity and your integrity when you're just honest on the front end, when you tell her ahead of time and deal with her anger and frustration or her crying or her emotions during a peaceful time. After you've been caught and after she's proven that you're a liar and that you're a coward and that you really wasn't man enough to just stand in front of her and tell her the truth, by that time it's like, now you got to make up. Now you got to be awkward and uncomfortable, and a woman in the truth doesn't deserve that. These women in the truth deserve better, man. That be a man. Tell her the truth. Look in her eyes and say, thinking about marrying her. I'm thinking about courting her. Sister asked to court me and I'm going to say yes. Tell her so she can deal with it and be okay. Don't play in her face, man. It's not worth it. And it's not what the scripture says a man should do in honoring his wife. Now let's get some scriptures. I've been talking for an hour. I gotta get some scriptures. We gotta get some scriptures about, concerning marriage and women and dealing honorably with a woman, and that's gonna be the class. All right. We'll answer the call tomorrow. I'll go through those scriptures tomorrow. So lock it. Let me get and again, if anybody got any questions on the topic, y'all can ask your questions now. I see a couple brothers in there responding. If anybody got any comments or questions, man, y'all can chime in. All right. But let's go ahead and see what the Bible says about, you know what I'm saying, dealing with a woman the right way, man. Let's get 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. All right. All right. All right, boom. Yeah, here we go. So let's get 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. I'm gonna rename this class, you know what I'm saying, the love of a husband. All right, it's 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. It says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Now, this is very heavy, what Peter's just said. I'm going to break it down in today's words for brothers to understand what Peter is commanding here. You understand? Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. What does it mean to dwell with them according to knowledge? You have to know your woman. And this is any woman that you decide to deal with. It's not just the woman that you've been married to for 4 or 5 years. It's not just the woman that was with you when you came into the truth. It's this new woman that you just met. This new woman that you're getting to know. This new woman that you're thinking about making your wife. You have to know a woman enough to be able to deal with her appropriately. The beautiful thing about women is every woman is unique. Every woman is an individual. Every woman is who she is. And so guess what? The things that work for the woman that you've been with for 5 years, the woman that you was with when you came into the truth, you are a fool and a clown if you think that that is what's going to work for this new woman. As a man, you must accept that any woman you deal with is going to access a part of you that is a reaction to who she is as a woman. Meaning what? You may meet one woman and she like a nigga that's hardcore and a soldier and on 10 24/7. She respects and likes that you ultra masculine, ultra tough, and you ain't got no emotions and feelings. But you meet another woman and she likes a man that's a little bit, can a little gentle and, speak soft to her and tell her she look good. You like her hair, you know what I'm saying? Maybe give her some flowers or, whisper sweet nothings in her ear. Well, if you're not a sweet nothing whispering nigga, then don't deal with the woman that want the sweet nothings. If you're not a flower and candy buying nigga, then don't deal with the woman that like to be, like gifts and like thoughtful things. Or be willing to accept this woman gonna need me to be a little bit softer than the hardcore roughneck woman that I got. I gotta be able to make room for, walks in the park and going to the damn flower exhibit at the museum. I got to do different things with her than I do with the one that I got. That's dealing with a woman according to knowledge. That's a respectful way, a manly way to go about being a husband to 2 different women, 3 different women. They all can't be married to the same man. They all can't get the same thing from you, because then they're not allowed to be loved the way that they need to be loved. They're not allowed to be tended to the way that they need to be tended to. They are not allowed to receive what it is that they need to receive. You cannot copy and paste your love and your affection across multiple women. It's not going to work. You're going to have to be able to be the man that each woman needs you to be. How do you know what man you need to be? Dwelling with them according to knowledge. You understand? Keep reading 1 Peter 3 and 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife. How do you give honor unto the wife? By recognizing her needs, recognizing the things that she requires to be, you know, a wife. Every woman is not on the same level. Not every woman that's a wife is going to be the one that cooks for you and washes your clothes and takes care of the house and braids your hair or does different things. Not every woman is going to do the same thing. They're not going to be the same. So you have to be able to give honor unto every woman, the honor that they deserve, the honor that they need. You understand? What you don't want to do is you got a woman that cooks and cleans and washes clothes, and then you got another woman that don't do nothing. First of all, it's not right to the one that's doing all of the cooking and the cleaning and the cooking, but also, what does other bra supposed to do? Nothing. You got her doing nothing. What value is she adding to your life? What is she bringing to the table? You got to make sure that you're able to provide a woman with a way to gain honor, to feel like she's a part of you, making your life better, improving, serving. You got to be able to provide that. And every woman's service that she's looking to provide is different, or every woman's motivation is different. You know what I'm saying? You, as a man, knowing a woman plays an important role in you being able to be the source of her of motivation, inspiration, and aspiration. There's a difference between inspiration and aspiration. As a husband, you want to be inspirational to your woman. You also want to be someone she aspires to be. As a man, you have to know that your woman is going to be a reflection of you. So your discipline, your attentiveness, your detail to following orders, to following through with orders that you give, it's going to reflect on your woman. If your woman sees that you're someone who's slack on doing what you're supposed to do, guess what she's going to do? She's going to be slack on what she's supposed to do. If your woman sees that you're someone who, says you'll do something and then it doesn't get done, guess what she's going to do? She's going to say things and they don't get done. If you're a man who's not honest with your woman about your feelings and about what's going on, then she's not going to be honest with you about her feelings and about what she has going on. If you only communicate to her when you're angry or when you're frustrated about something that she's doing, or when you're not satisfied with something, she's going to communicate to you when she's frustrated and upset and not satisfied with what you're doing. Like, you, as a man, you must know these things in order to be able to deal with a woman properly, in order to be able to handle her the right way. So you have to dwell with them according to knowledge, and you also have to give honor unto the wife, reading on, as unto the weaker vessel. Meaning what? You have to know and you have to honor that your woman is not the soldier that you are. That you may respond to a check-in. You may respond to, hey, did you do what I asked you to do? Did you get it done? Your woman may not respond the same way. As a soldier of the Lord, you got to be on call 24/7, ready to go when you get the call. Your woman may not be the same way. She got different vulnerabilities. She has different, I don't want to call them weaknesses, but she has different sensibilities than you do. You got to be able to understand that, be able to give a woman some grace, be able to give her a break. You know what I'm saying? Be able to give her time and space to accept certain limitations that she may have because she's a woman. You understand what I'm saying? Not because she gets to, she doesn't get an excuse. Being a woman is not an excuse to not handle your responsibilities or handle your business. But being a woman is to acknowledge a woman is a woman, is to acknowledge that she ain't gonna be a soldier like I am. She not gonna be as hardcore as I am. And there may be times where she show you things that you didn't know she was capable of. But as a husband, you should be looking for ways to lessen your woman's burdens. You understand? If you got a woman, man, she's slaving, she's working 9 to 5. She got kids, come home, take care of the kids. She tend to you, cook for you, and make sure you straight. Well, damn, the least you could do is, make sure she got time to herself. Sometimes, she come home from work, man, get the kids and keep them a little bit. Keep them an hour longer, keep them a couple of hours longer. Find some money in the budget for her to be able to go get her nails done or go get her feet done or go get a massage or, hell, take her out every 2 weeks. We have date night. Go to the movies or go get something to eat, buy her some flowers and candy. I don't know where Anybody ever told you you was a sucker for buying your woman flowers or chocolates, that nigga was lying to you. If any man ever told you, man, you ain't got to buy no card, man, you being all sweet and lovey-dovey, yeah, nigga, that's how you keep a wife. You better make her a damn playlist with all the sweet music that she likes or the music you like. You know what I'm saying? Send her random songs that make you think of her. You know what I mean? Or just, go for a ride sometimes at night. Just put on some music that's player and let her ride knowing she riding with a player. And remember why she chose you in the first place. You have to, as a man, constantly do things that let your woman know you still my woman and I'm still your man. A lot of brothers think that, you know how to get a woman, but you don't know how to keep a woman. You keep a woman by doing the things that you did to get her. That's part of dwelling with them according to knowledge. You know your woman. You know she need to be wined and dined sometimes. You know she need to be made to feel special. You know she need to get dressed up and look pretty and look nice and go out on the town. You got to do that. You can't. Y'all had 2 kids together and money tight. She don't get to go out. She don't get to, get pretty. Your woman been slaving, man, working overtime. We had to pass over. She beat, got all these things she's worried about. Man, give her a day to just go get dolled up, self-care, all of that. Get her looking pretty, man. Go take her to the comedy show. Take her to go see the movies or go to the damn flower exhibit at the museum. Listen, if you ain't never did that, you want your woman to know that you really think about her. Find out when there's going to be some kind of flowers or some type of painting, something sweet and goofy, and just take her to it and go. You make her get dressed up. You get dressed up. You ain't got, if you want to, put on your fringes and your garment and all. But if you don't, just put on some jeans, and a button-up shirt, and you ain't got to get no tight, the suit and tie, nigga, but put on a little button-up, throw some damn loafers on, and go out. I hope y'all don't think that everywhere we go, we fully girded all the time. No. Some of us, I do, Salaki. But then again, I make my own clothes. I got angry shirts and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff that I could give fly wears. Yeah, I want to stand out. But sometimes you just be incognito, man. You might still throw a crown or something on, you know what I'm saying, with your jewelry. But you get dressed up, man, looking nice. Let her get dressed up, looking nice, and you just go out, man. Have something to eat, steak dinner or something, you know what I'm saying? And just make her remember why we doing this. Give her a refresher. That's all of that plays into honoring the woman as the weaker vessel. Everybody understands. Now, why should you do this? Why should you dwell with a woman according to knowledge? Give honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel. Reading on, it's 1 Peter 3:7. It says, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, because you and her together are inheriting the grace of life. Meaning what? The Lord brought you out of the world. The Lord didn't just bring you out the world as a man. He brought the woman out of the world too. The things the Lord delivered you from suffering in the world, he's delivered her from suffering. You must make sure that she's enjoying it just as much as you are. Your woman should be able to be thankful and appreciative of the truth just as much as you are. You in the truth, like you could have more than one woman. Guess what? Every woman you got should be able to feel like they're your only woman. Every woman you got should feel like they got a man that loves them and cares about them and is attentive. You want to know why? Because all the bitches in the world are crying about never having that. Now imagine you got a woman, you in the truth. She married to a man in the truth, and she feel like she ain't got a man. She feel like don't nobody care about her. Ain't nobody checking on her. Brother, don't do that, Don't think because you got a woman and you in the truth, she in the truth, that she's your stepping stone. That she's something for you to walk over. Somebody for you to be a tyrant over. Don't do that, The Lord brought her out of the goddamn world too. She should be able to tell women in the world, yeah, man, get you one of these priests, get you one of these brothers in the UPK. They are amazing. Again, if that's not what she has to say to women in the world, most times it's a reflection of you, brother. And you got to accept that. Oh, man, she just mad. She don't be liking this and that. Okay. You should find out why. Find out what you're doing. Because there's plenty of brothers whose wives are happy. They in love. You see these brothers coming to the Passover, 2 or 3 wives, and they all together and they smiling and they ain't mugging each other and no beefing. That's because that brother has put in a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure those women are loved in a way where they don't have no problems. It ain't even shit. I'll be there with the broad. Who cares? She ain't stopping my flow. That comes from a man putting in a lot of work. It ain't magic. It ain't, those women aren't, it takes work. And as a man, you want to have a wife, it's going to take a lot of work. You want to have 2 wives, it's going to be double the work. You want to have 3 wives, it's going to be triple the work. If you think that you can have wives and just, it is what it is, you'll have no wives. You understand? Keep reading. In the 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7 says that your prayers be not hindered. You understand? Your prayers won't be hindered if you and your woman are on one accord. If y'all on the same page, if y'all both are, glorying in the knowledge of the truth, glorying in being able to serve the Lord, there's things that you must do as a husband to protect your woman, seeing that she's the weaker vessel. Things that you must do to honor her, to make sure that she's free from the temptations and from the pitfalls that women in the world are falling victim to. And you as a man have a lot of power to ensure that by the way that you deal with your woman, the way that you treat her, and by setting a standard that men of the world cannot live up to, which is being honest and being transparent. You understand? This is 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. It says, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one to another. Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. You understand? That's how you should be with your woman, man. Have compassion for a woman. How do you have compassion on a woman? Man, do I want her to find out about me having this other woman because she go through my phone, because I get caught, or do I want to sit her down and tell her about it? Do I want to, she's going to be mad and going to be emotional about it regardless. Would it be better for her to be mad and emotional before I actually deal with the other woman? Or do I want her to be mad and emotional after she finds out from somebody else than me? Have compassion, man. Think about it. Either way, as a man, you're going to be stuck in the uncomfortable position of having to tell her. Whether she find out later or she find out before, it's going to be uncomfortable. Face the uncomfortability like a man and sit her down and tell her you think about dealing with another woman. Tell her you're thinking about courting a sister. Tell her, sister, you got word, a sister asked to court you, and you're going to say yes. Don't have her find out 3 months into the courtship. Or she find out after the broad post courting brother so-and-so on Facebook. Lord be with y'all. I don't know how you do it, but you got to be a man. The best way to do it is to be a man about it. You understand? Love as brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. Have pity on a woman, man. Have some thought towards her and how she's going to deal with it, and be courteous. You don't have to tell her. Listen, you don't have to tell her nothing. There's no law that says if thou getteth another wife, tell the wife you have. But damn, give her the courtesy. Give her a heads up. Let her know. And it'll help you as a man to be able to better prepare for how things are going to be. You don't just, it's a bad look. I could just one day tell your woman, yeah, baby, I got me somebody else and I'm about to spend 3.5 days over here and 3.5 days over there. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Where that come from? Like, you should deal with her the way, I can't say deal with her how you want to be dealt with, but if you love a woman, you would give her that courtesy. You'll give her that respect. You know what I'm saying? You'll give her allow her dignity to remain intact. You know what I'm saying? And another, you would let her feel confident knowing that you didn't put her in a position where another woman could play in her face. A lot of women, man, I don't know if brothers even talking to their women, but a lot of women's greatest fear is that their man will let another woman play in their face. You know what I'm saying? Meaning this woman has information and knowledge that she doesn't have. Brother, if you don't know, that's to your wife, that's playing in her face. For you to be talking to another woman, inboxing another woman, and that woman can see your wife and knows who your wife is, it make your wife feel like that bitch is you playing in my face because you let that bitch look at me every day and know that, she knows something I don't. It's like Jody and his woman on Baby Boy. If Jody was talking to the other chick in the office, he should have just told Yvette, yeah, man, I sell the bitch dresses, man. She on me. She be flirting. I be flirting back, but it ain't no big thing. Rather than you dealing with a broad and she at the job looking at your woman sideways or see her in public somewhere. Who knows how weird y'all niggas be letting it get. But your woman feel like you letting somebody play in her face. Don't do that. You should have enough courtesy for your woman and respect for her not to feel like somebody played in her face. And the way you do that is by telling her the truth. Let her be straight up with her. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't man enough to do that yet, then at least make provisions to protect your woman. Don't let your social media be public. If you're going, you got pictures of you and your wife and your family at the Passover on there, then some broad you just met is on there liking all your pictures that your wife is not in. You think your wife ain't gonna know? The bitch like every picture except for the one I'm in. Don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be straight up with her. You know what I'm saying? Sister Anaya said, nah, being abandoned. So her greatest fear is not being played in her face. Her greatest fear is being abandoned. That's another thing, brothers. If you honest with your woman, if you sit her down and let her know about you dealing with another woman or meeting another woman, then you can reassure her that her position in your life is secure, that she ain't got to worry about this other woman, taking her place or running you off or anything like that. Even though you in the truth, your woman still think that you're going to meet some woman and go love her more than her and leave. Even though you in the truth, that's their fear is that one day you're going to wake up and you're going to leave. Brother, you got to make sure that you let her know that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. As I'm a man of the Lord. I'm a priest of the Most High. I take my oath seriously, and sex is an oath that I am not going to break. You understand? Let's drop that. Let me get let's get Colossians chapter 3 verse 19. I'm on purpose skipping over the scriptures for the wives right now. A lot of these scriptures, you know what I'm saying, these brothers is talking to the wives first, because the wives are the ones that's out of order, out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to the brothers. This is for the men. You understand? Yes, we know what the scriptures say about wives submitting to your husbands and honoring your husbands. I don't believe a lot of women in the truth have problems submitting to their husbands. Women in the truth have problems honoring their husbands. But I feel like brothers have to be able to make sure that they're doing what the husbands are required to do to make it easier for their wives to submit, to make it easier for their wives to honor them and obey them as unto the Lord and all those other things. You understand? So this is for the brothers. Colossians chapter 3 verse 19 says, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. You understand? Don't be bitter against your woman. What does it mean to be bitter against your woman? Let's go and look up the definition of the word bitter. Even though we all know what it means to be bitter, let's look up the definition of the word bitter. All right. I'm gonna go for the second definition, right? It's not talking about the taste in your mouth, not that kind of bitter. This is the other bitter. It says distasteful or distressing to the mind. You understand? Distasteful or distressing to the mind. The Bible says, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Meaning, don't be distasteful or distressing to the mind of your woman. What distresses your woman's mind? You lying to her. That's distressing to a woman's mind. You playing in her face, meeting women, talking to them, getting to know them, and never giving her a heads up that you may get another woman. Getting another woman and not telling her, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying, I'm dealing with somebody else. That is being bitter towards your woman. Being mad at her that she's mad or emotional about you having other women. What are you mad at? Why are you mad at her? Because she got to deal with you leaving and going to be with another woman. But you wanted to be happy about it? You wanted to sing a dance and do a tune every time you're getting ready to leave? You want her to smile and kiss you and hug you before you go be with another woman. It's not gonna happen. She's gonna the day that you're gonna go be with another woman. She gonna want space. She'll bring you your food and sit it on the counter rather than hand it to you in your hands. She not gonna, you in the mirror. You get out, you get taking a shower and getting dressed, getting your beard looking all good and groomed, and you're putting on your cologne and smelling good and looking all glorious. You want her to hug you and kiss you and say, "Give her hell, baby, have a good time." Nah, she's gonna go in the room and close the door before you leave. She's gonna feel some kind of way. You should be able to, understand that and know that and be okay with it. You got to sink into that uncomfortability. Don't be mad at her because she can't put on a good smile and be a good sport. Allow her room to be a woman. Allow her those emotions to be upset, to not cheer you on while you go be with this other woman. Just she'll be all right. It's best. Let me just get up out of here, and Lord allow, she'll be better when I get back. And guess what? She's better when you get back. Once you're gone and you're out of her sight, whatever process she goes through to deal with it, she'll be all right. She'll be ready to receive you when you come back. You want her to, be happy about it. You don't come to her and tell her you got another woman. You don't sit her down and tell her you're talking to somebody and you're thinking about being with somebody else. She got to find out from a Facebook post. She got to find out, from going through your phone. She got to find out because the chick liking all your posts on Facebook. You want her to not be mad that that's how she found out you got another wife? She has every right to be mad, Ox. She has every right to feel some kind of way about you talking to a broad for 3 months, 6 months, courting her, and she didn't know about it. You didn't tell her. Some of you brothers are court sister. Your wife in the school, you court a sister in the school. Don't tell your wife that you're courting a sister. They had to cook out together. They in line together, getting their plates of food. And this woman knows that y'all courting, but your woman don't know the sister greeting her shalom, sis, or the sister being weird. Listen, the sister's being weird toward your rib because she knows she courting her husband, and the sister might not know that your rib don't know, so she don't want to be offensive or don't want to, she knows a little bit of tension in the air. And your woman like, yeah, so sister didn't salute me. Then, she was acting kind of weird. And you go, I don't know what's up with that, baby. That's crazy. Nigga, you courting her. Come on now. Don't be distasteful. That's distasteful. You're doing things as uncouth. Some of you brothers, you such a, I guess you think you're a manly man. You got a wife, got another woman you're dealing with. You answer the phone and have a whole, yeah, I miss you too, baby. I can't wait to get over there while your woman's sitting there. You just a whole, goddamn. Just because we in the truth and a woman know you can have more than one wife, don't mean you got to rub it in her face and be distasteful about it. Damn, you got it. She know you got another woman. At least do it the honor of, hey, baby, I'm going to the other room. Take this call right quick, or step outside. Do whatever you got to do. Me personally, I leave out the room. I step outside. You understand? I'm not going to sit here with my woman, answer the phone and be like, shalom. But first of all, there's a way. See, some of you niggas, you answer the phone. Hey, baby, what's up, love? What's going on, darling? So you sitting there with your woman and the phone ring. You, shalom, Lord in Christ. The woman on the phone, no. Nigga, Lord in Christ, who the fuck is you talking to? You sitting there with your woman, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, first of all, if you really smart about it, you would have a generic greeting for everybody that calls your phone. I remember I used to ride with General Muhammad going to New York. You never know who General Muhammad's talking to at what time, because you know how he answers the phone? Shalom, how may I help you? And I remember being young in the truth, like, damn, I should have some shit like that when I answer the phone because I'm with my, hey, what's up, baby? Hey, what's up, shawty? What's up, baby girl? Like, you can't do that with your woman. So I'm the fool that I'm talking about. I got cute greetings for my women. So guess what? I got to leave the room. I got to go in the other room. I got to even step outside and take this call right quick because the phone conversation not going to be shalom, how can I help you? It's going to be, hey, what's up? What's going on, man? How you doing? You good? What's the matter? Or it'd be, why you calling me? I'm at the crib. What's up? Like, But if you're really smart about it, brothers, you would have just a generic greeting for everybody that call your phone. So when your phone ring, Shalom, how can I help you? And nobody knows what's what. Y'all not General Muhammad. I'm not General Muhammad. I ain't got that much experience in the game. But if you wise, you would have a generic greeting so that nobody knows who you're talking to. And if you answer the phone or if you know it's your woman, Shalom, how can I help you? Oh, yeah, give me 1 second. And baby, I'm going to step out right quick. I'm going to take care of this. Now, your woman that's sitting there don't know that it's a woman you're going to talk to. It could be anybody. Shalom, how can I help you? Anybody could be on the goddamn phone. You get up, step out the room, go in the office. Hey, what's going on? How can I help you? And now you had a conversation. Okay, yeah, or whatever you may do. But I mean, god damn, some of y'all niggas just, yeah, what's up, baby? What's going on with you? Oh, no, I'm sitting here with the wife. What you need? Oh, for real? Okay, well, I'll try to be over there. You know what I'm saying? Give me a couple hours. Let me finish up movie time and I'll be over there. God damn, you raw. Now, your woman may be hardcore and that may be, how she like it. But it could be distasteful. Like, it could be bitter towards her. You know what I'm saying? Now, we in the school, we go out, have events. Some of you brothers, you go out with your woman. You with your woman, we out. You hollering at other women while she's there. I mean, Lord be with your woman. You just such a hardcore, roughneck, gangster, having multiple wives ass nigga. You just can't, you don't see that I'm with my woman tonight. So whoever is in here that I'm supposed to meet, it's not tonight. Like, if it's a night when my woman is going to the club with me, it's a night that I'm not meeting no women. I don't care who the fuck is out here, who looking at me, who's smiling at me. Bitch, the Lord is against you tonight. This is not your night to meet me because I'm with my woman. And because I'm with my woman, she getting the shine. She getting the attention. She's the one that's with the flies nigga in the club. I'm not going to be with my woman, set her to the side to go be in another bitch's face. What? I'm not finna do that shit. Now, again, that's just, it's being protecting your woman. Giving her peace of mind. When we out together, we out together. I'm out with the brothers, I'm out with the brothers. But if I'm with you, I'm not doing that. Some of you brothers is, she'll be all right. All right. Okay. That's being bitter towards your woman. You shouldn't do that out. You shouldn't do it. Even if she could handle it, you shouldn't do it. These sisters in the truth, accepting a man having more than one wife doesn't mean you're supposed to walk over them. And a lot of women, their whole protest about having a man having more than one wife, a lot of women's protest about, I'm not cool with that. I'm not comfortable with that. It's out of a fear that if I give this nigga an inch, he's going to take a mile. Coming into a relationship with a man and saying, I'm okay with him having other wives. Most women are afraid to say that, even if they feel it. They feel, I don't care whatever he do. The nigga could go be with her. Give me a break, nigga. Help me. Please get another rib. Help me. Because you always in my space, in my way. Just goddamn, I would love another broad to take you off my hands. But your woman is not going to ever say that out loud. You want to know why? Because she's afraid that if she says that, you'll marry 5 bitches. And you'll be like, she don't care. She cool with it. And you just going to go fuck everything. So to keep you conscious a little bit, she frowns. More than one wife. You want another wife? She frowns and puts on her face like, I'm going to be mad. Because she don't want you to just go crazy. You got to know that and say, even if I could go crazy, I'm not, because she's my wife. She's in the truth with me. She's honoring me. She accept me having more than one woman. So let me just go fuck every bitch I can until one of them is okay enough to stay around and I can introduce them. Your woman agreeing with you having other women is not a license to just go fuck everybody. Excuse my language. Your woman agreeing with you having other wife means that I'm okay with you having another relationship with a woman like you have with me. And the woman that says, I'm okay if he has, other women, that's what she's saying. I don't mind him having another wholesome, fulfilling relationship with like we have. I don't mind you loving and being a good man to another woman. Hell, these other women need a good man, and you're a good man. I don't mind you having another wife, but not another two or three bitches you fucking. That's not what she's saying. Again, women are afraid that if they say, I'm okay, he can have, I'm cool. My husband decided he wanted to get another wife, that you will interpret it as, I don't care who he fucking. That's not what she's saying. Again, she's afraid. She's afraid that if she gives you that approval, if she tells you, I don't mind if you have another wife, that you're going to think, I could just go fuck bitches. Now, the school don't teach that. Why you would think that, nobody can, I don't know. The school never teaches that having more than one wife means you can just go fuck bitches. But your woman that's what she's afraid of. So she says, I don't want my man to have no other woman. She got to do, and it's really just a deterrent. It's like a challenge to you. Your woman saying, you better not get another wife, is really her saying, okay, I can't speak for every woman. I know spiritually, a woman telling you that you better not get another woman, or if you get another woman, I'm going to leave, is a challenge. Like, nigga, if you get another woman, make sure she can replace me. You want to know what happens if you get another woman that can replace your woman? It's going to make her step her game up, because no woman wants to be replaced. But a lot of times the threat of I'll leave if you get another woman comes from a place of insecurity, comes from a place of fear that she's not good enough. You have to give that woman reassurance. You have to let her know, baby, I love you, man. You saying you this and that, and you down for me, man. Even if I did get another woman, it ain't gonna mess up with me and you got. Even if I did get another woman, it ain't gonna take me away from you, no matter what happens. You know what I'm saying? Me and you, we solid. We done been through this and that. That woman that says you better not get another woman is looking for reassurance. She's looking for you to tell her, man, even if I did get another woman, me and you gonna still be down forever. You the wife of my bosom. You've been there since the beginning. You gotta game her up. You got to make it sound and feel good. You got to tell her what she needs to hear, because that's the time when she needs to hear it. A lot of you brothers, your woman say, you better not get another wife, and you just be mad. You know what I'm saying? No. That's the time when she needs some reassurance. She needs some comfort knowing that even if I was to get another rib, man, me and you, we straight. Ain't nothing, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna still be good. You understand? Because when I said, can you touch on diminishing the duties? Okay, let's get that. Let's get on diminishing the duties. Let's get take another wife. All right. Exodus 21:10. All right. This is Exodus 21:10. It says, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. What does this mean? If a man has a woman, y'all have a relationship, whatever she's used to or entitled to in that relationship cannot be taken away because of another woman. You understand? Meaning, this is literally what it means. Diminishing her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage means this. If you and your woman are going half on the bills and you get another wife, you can't take that half on your bills where you living and go put it somewhere else. You can't go to your woman and say, yeah, baby, I got another wife, so now I'm going to have to stop paying half the rent here. I'm only be able to pay a quarter of the rent here because I got to take some money and pay it over there. You can't take money out of this woman's, you can't take money out of this house to put into this house. You understand? Your woman can't, you can't have a budget where the groceries is, $200 a week. And now you marry and you get a new wife and you say, well, baby, I ain't getting that $200 for the groceries no more because I gotta help with groceries over here. You can't do that out. And if that's where you at in life, in your situation, you should be very mindful of the impact that getting another woman would have on your relationship. Now, naturally, normally, if we struggling with the bills we got as a husband and wife, if I get another woman, it's because she got more money that's going to come to me to ease the burdens of, whatever we dealing with. I'm not going to go and we struggling barely getting by. I'm not going to add another mouth to feed without the resources coming with it. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, if we struggling, this other woman gonna have to eat. She got to help out in some kind of way. And that's not when I say help out, it doesn't have to be money. I'm using money as an example, but it could be anything. We got, kids and we ain't got daycare money and we struggling with the kids. And I'm not gonna get a woman and I gotta have less time for the kids I might get a woman that can watch the babies or do something got to be improved by me dealing with this other woman or else what's the point? But the scripture here, Exodus 21:10, if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. A man cannot take away from his family his woman he has because he gets a wife. You understand? Now, what is the duty of marriage? Duty of marriage is the things that she's used. Okay, duty of marriage is more than just sex. But also, as a man, if you get a new woman, you get another wife, you can't stop having sex with your woman you got. That's crazy. You got to know that. As a man, you got to know that adding another wife usually means you're going to have to increase the sex you're having where you already at. Just to reassure her and comfort her that this other woman's sex ain't taken away from our sex, you got to have more sex. To where the woman that you're with is like, okay, why are we having so much sex? You could leave me, you could stay off of me for a night or two, leave me alone a little bit. Okay, you got to damn near. A lot of times, like the demons that plague your woman's mind, sex can help fight those demons. A lot of times, man, a woman, feeling unsatisfied, she angry at you, she mad, you keep leaving your funky socks on the floor, you don't put the solid seat down, or you got these dirty clothes all over the place. Sometimes it's not about the dirty socks. It's not about the toilet being left up. It's not about your funky clothes. It's about sex. And not just the regular sex you have all the time, not just the missionary sex you're having because y'all been together so long. It's because she need the sex that you was giving her when y'all first got together. I don't know if you brothers know it or not, but if you're in a relationship with a woman, y'all been together for some time, she needs to be reminded every once in a while of that sex you had when you first got together. Now, some of y'all niggas, Superman, your sex every time is the sex you had when you first got together. Most High in Christ, salute to you. There's some brothers, you get comfortable with your woman and, y'all kind of get into a groove where you know what each other like and you just, you do what you need to do to get the job done and make sure she's satisfied. But every once in a while, like you got to revert back to time. You got to go back to when you first met her, when she wasn't the mother of your children and the wife of your bosom and the woman in the truth that you love so much. You got to give her the drunk out the bar sex. You understand? You got to give her the tequila and the goddamn reposado sex. And not the comfortable sitting at home drinking reposado sex, but the, up all night reposado sex. She need it. She ain't going to know how to say it. She ain't never going to say, baby, could you do it to me like you did when we first got married? But she gonna say, oh, these socks all in the floor, and you on a damn video game, and you goddamn leaving the toilet seat up. You have to know that's code language for I'm trying to piss you off so that you can angrily sex me like you did when we first got together. And you gotta know I say twice a month, she need to have the sex from day one. And maybe I'm crazy. Maybe nobody can relate to anything I'm saying. But having been in some relationships, I know the difference between the sex I was given day one and the sex that I was given year 5. Now, not to say it fell off or anything, because after 5 years, there's been some new things introduced. I ain't show all my tricks in the beginning. Some of y'all do that. You get in there in the beginning and burn yourself out. Forever is a long time. I can't give you everything first day, you know what I'm saying? Because what I'm going to do 2 years from now? Year 2, I got to introduce something new. Year 5, I got to come differently. No pun intended. But some of you brothers, you just, you know what I'm saying? You trying to punch a hole through the back of that thing from day one. And what you going to do in 6 months? What you going to do in a year? A wise man plans ahead. So, but the point I'm making is once you and a woman get into a groove, you get comfortable with one another, you know one another. It's easy to have the simple sex. It's easy to have the sex that's, get the job done. Every once in a while, though, you got to have the reminder sex. You got to have the refresh her memory sex. And that's the thing, when you was trying to impress her, you got to do that. You got to impress your woman twice a month. And whatever you got to do it, get it done. Go to the gym, go work out. Look at the news and see how much evil is going on in the world and know how close we are to the kingdom. That should inspire you. The anger and the frustration from the world should inspire you to go and deal with your woman rightfully. Go on the internet and look at the conversations about black men and black women. Go to some of these black women channels where they're talking horrible and evil about brothers. And you say to yourself, the Lord spared me from one of these evil bitches. And go give all that cursing out that you would do to the broad on the internet. Go take it out on your woman in the bedroom. There's ways that you can get motivated to properly give her that passion that she's looking for. You got that. Your job as a man is to find it. Find the motivation. Find out what it takes. Some of you brothers, you got to argue with your woman. You wonder why she argue with you and yell at you and belittle you, because she want to make you angry. She want to make you mad, because when you're mad and you're angry, you don't have sex with her like you respect her. You don't have sex with her like she's the mother of your children and the completion of your 360 circle of life. Sometimes you'll have sex with her like she's, a problem you're trying to solve. That's what she's doing. The socks in the floor and the toilet seat is about her wanting to have sex like she's a problem that needs to be solved. If you can't get there on your own, go to the gas station. There's honey, there's all types of things you could do, but you got to find what you need, the motivation to give her what she's needing. Everybody understands, but a woman's duty of marriage cannot diminish because you get a new woman. Now, that doesn't equate to days of, it does not equate to, well, you used to stay the night every night and now you can't go stay the night anywhere else. That's not what that's talking about. That's not diminishing a woman's duty of marriage. Duty of marriage is the things that, she was entitled to in the marriage, which is sex, which is affection, which is love, which is kindness, gentleness. Brothers, if you're having a problem in your relationship with your woman, and you think that having another woman is going to solve those problems, unless that is the solution, then you're playing yourself. Meaning, whatever problems you having with your woman, you got to solve them. And if you go to solve the problems that you're having with your woman and it comes out that the answer to this problem is for you to have another woman, then that's the reason why you get another. That's one reason to get another woman. But if you're having problems in your relationship, you have to solve them, or else you'll get another wife, and whatever problems you having in your marriage now are going to be doubled. Because a lot of the times as men, the problems that we're having in the marriage are a reflection of us. You have to exhaust all options and know that these problems you have in this marriage is not you before you think having another woman is going to help or having another woman is going to make it better. Some of you brothers think that having another woman means I can get away from this one when she's acting up. It's not going to work out that way for you. You know what I'm saying? It might work out for a time, but you're not going to solve the problem in the relationship you already got. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just be careful with that. Everybody understand? Let me get Salaki. Let me get another. Let's get Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. And this is one of the most important parts. You know what I'm saying? Most important aspects of what a man must do in order to maintain the healthiness of a relationship. We talked about sex is very important. Affection is very important. You know what I'm saying? Providing your woman with reassurance and protection, security, very important. Leadership, guidance. But there's something that sex ain't gonna get. There's not something that sex ain't gonna solve, and there's something that talking ain't gonna solve. Just communication. As a man, there's another thing that's necessary for you to give to your woman, for her to always be satisfied and to remember to honor, you know, um, being chosen by you, being chosen by the Lord for her to be your wife. You understand? This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. I'm going to read it all the way through and then I'll come back through and break it down. This is Ephesians 5 and 25 says, husbands, love your wives even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it. You understand? What does that mean? Husbands, your love for your wife comes with sacrifice. You understand? Meaning the sacrifice that you must give for your woman is always being the man that she needs you to be, regardless of how you feel. You understand? Gentlemen, I haven't taught this to class in the class he did the other week in Nashville. He talked about the duty and the responsibility that comes from love, the labor that goes into it, the work that's required. You know what I'm saying? That's what this is going into. But I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna read all the way down and come back through and break it down like I said. Ephesians 5 and 26, it says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. You understand? So what this is saying is Christ loved the church, which is why he taught us and instructed us and gave us a clear understanding of what was required, of what was needed for us to please the Most High. As a husband, man, you must do the same thing with your woman. You have to communicate to her and express to her the things that are needed and required for your relationship to work, for your relationship to be stronger, for your relationship to be better. It's important that as a man, you communicate to your woman, you know, the things that you are pleased with that she does, the things that she does that satisfies you, that, that gives you pride. And you also have to, again, motivate your woman, inspire her to be better. You have to be something that she can aspire to. You understand? Inspiration is Inspiration. Aspiration is Aspiration. Those are two different words. Inspiration is you putting something into somebody. You're inspiring them. But to be something that someone aspires to means they look up to you. They look up to your direction. They watch you and they're pleased with you. They see your growth and see how seriously you take things. As a man, you got to give that to your woman. Now, that's what Christ gave us. All of us, when we learn the truth, when we sit in these classes and we read these scriptures, we are inspired by Christ. We aspire to be on the level he was on. We aspire to be as disciplined and as great and as wise as he was. Well, as a husband, you must do that for your woman as well. You have to be someone that inspires your woman, meaning your growth and your discipline, your change and your maturity is something she looks at and says, damn, that's an amazing brother, man. I want to serve him. I want to love him. I want to honor him. And then also being the man that you are and how you carry yourself and how you deal with problems and how you deal with the difficulties of life. You want your woman to look at you and say, damn, I want to be like him. I want to better myself so I can be on his level. You want your woman to be wanting to deserve to be your wife. Goddamn, this woman is your wife. She smell your funky drawers. She sees you in the most intimate moments when nobody else sees you. You know what I'm saying? It's a locky. I've been in the gym a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen me at the Nashville cooker. I done lost some weight, but I also be wearing a little body shaper that make me look more cut up. I got a woman that see me without that shaper on. She see the rawness of me. But there's a way that you can be as a man that still will have her saying, damn, I got to earn the right to be that nigga woman. I got to deserve this. And it comes from you being better. It comes from you improving. It comes from her being a part of that growth. Man, you've been with a woman for 5 years. The man that you are today should not be the man that you was 5 years ago. And that growth is going to make her say, he got better. So you know what? I got to get better too. He elevated. You know what? I got to elevate too. And as a man, you got to find ways to elevate yourself. You know what I'm saying? The truth should be enough. If the truth is not enough, you got to study some more. You got to get in them scriptures, man. You got to find ways to do things that's impressive. Find new ways to wow and shock the people that's in your life. The truth will do it for you, but then there's also something else you could do that'll, that can elevate you. Not every man has a woman that's impressed by the truth. Not every man has a woman that's, inspired by your service of the Lord. So what, nigga? Find something else to give her inspiration. Find something else to please her. I mean, to not please her, find something else to make her say, damn, that nigga's amazing. You understand? Some of you brothers, a lot of you brothers, you got women that's not in the truth. So guess what? The things you do for the work of the Lord is not going to impress her. Teach her how to play spades. She don't know how to play no goddamn spades. Teach her spades. And she'll be like, damn, that nigga taught me spades. She don't know football. Sit her down and have her watch football and say, yeah, you see that? That's a wide receiver. Watch what he do all game. Listen, look, any woman I'm with gonna learn something. I don't care. There's no way. She could be 5 degrees. You don't know what I know. I'm going to teach you something. And in teaching you something, I'm making my imprint. I'm making my mark in your life. I'm impressing you in a way that you didn't even know you could be impressed. You understand? I'd teach a woman any goddamn thing. See, look here. See these shoelaces? I bet you didn't know I could lace them up like this and show her some goofy new shoelace kind of style that she didn't know. Now she like, damn, that's why his shoes be looking so good. Yeah, I showed you how to lace them shoes up, or show her how to shine a boot. Bet you know how to get these boots all shiny. Show a woman anything. It'll put you in a elevated position above her. Be the man to show her something, teach her something, elevate her in some kind of way. Who knows what it is? You find some new recipe. Hey, baby, I know you be cooking. You do a damn thing in the kitchen, but look, try this out. What you think about this? Show her a meal and have her cook it for you. And she give it to you, and you eat. You say, damn, baby, I didn't know you could throw down like that. Now, you know she could throw down like that. That's why you gave her the recipe, told her to cook it. But when she cook it, like, man, this is amazing. Man, I'm so blessed. I ain't had nobody cook for me like this. And she like, yeah, I cook for that. He ain't had nobody cook for him like that. You have to find ways as a man to constantly stay ahead of your woman. And you speaking to her and teaching her, you're going to cleanse her. You're going to wash her. You're going to make her want to be better. You're going to give her something. You're going to inspire something in her that she didn't know was there. And also by her viewing you and being in close proximity to you, she'll see your growth and she'll say, damn, I want to be better. I want to be like that nigga. I want to be better. I want to stay on the level he's on. And for brothers that have been in the truth for some time, man, the man you are today, not the man you were 5 years ago. The man you was 5 years ago is not the man you was when you first came in the truth. You have to know your woman has seen that growth. Your woman has seen that elevation, and she's proud of you. She's admiring it. It gives her something to want to continue to chase as a man. Don't ever let your woman catch you out. Don't ever let her catch you. They're going to get close. They're going to get right there. You find a way to step up higher. She going to be like, she ain't going to say it, but she'll be like, damn, I almost had his ass. You got to keep her chasing you. She got to chase you forever. Guess what? You got to be chasing her too. Just because you got her don't mean, the chase is over. She still needs to feel like, she'll never leave. She's nothing that's ever going to happen that's going to make her leave you. But damn, make her never think about it. Don't just take that for granted. That's a special thing. Listen, I get on the internet. There's so many niggas on the internet crying. Sad and suckers and weak and never going to have a good woman in their life. The Lord gave you one. Honor it, huh? Some of you niggas, the Lord gave you 2, gave you 3, maybe 1.5. You got more than one, huh? So I get 1.5 is crazy. But listen, the Lord blessed you, huh? And you got to honor it, man. You got to treat it like it's special. Treat it like you would want for you to be treated. And here's what I can say before I end this class. There's not a single man that ever came into the truth that could feel like the Lord didn't care about him. You understand? All of us that found the truth, we all know that of all the people in the world, of all the evil, horrible things that's out there in the world, the Lord saw fit for us to find the truth. The Lord saw fit for us to find the knowledge of him. The Lord saw fit to give us a chance to become better, to become who he called us to be. Man, your woman got to feel the same way out. Your woman should feel like God cared enough about me that he delivered me out of the world into the hands of a man that honors me, into the hands of a man that loves me as he loves himself. Deliver me into the hands of a man that is not bitter towards me, that is courteous towards me, that, he'll do the uncomfortable thing of being honest and being transparent. He'll do the difficult thing of having hard conversations. He'll do the difficult thing of learning me enough to know when I need space, of knowing that I'm not as much of a soldier as he is, that I'm not as hardcore and gangster as he is, though I try to be. Your woman should feel that way, and you should take it as your responsibility to make sure that she feels that way, the same way Christ took it as his responsibility to make sure that we all knew that we were special and that we were chosen, and that the Lord gave us this opportunity because he saw something great in us. If you have a woman out that you don't see something great in, if you have a woman that you don't see is fitting for that, then you have to do the work to make her that, because either she's that way because you're a horrible chooser of women, or because you aren't the man you need to be to aspire her to be better. I tell brothers and sisters all the time, when it comes to issues and problems in a relationship, you have to look at yourself first, because there's always something that you're doing or not doing that is causing things to be the way that they are. And as husbands, it's our responsibility to accept that our woman is a reflection of us in one way or another. And if you can accept that your woman is a reflection of you in one way or another, then you can take on the responsibility of doing the work that is required to make that woman to be better. It might require you having to be better first. It might require you having to clean up first. It might require you having to have some uncomfortable conversations with yourself, having some uncomfortable counsel about yourself, so that you can be better, so that you can make your woman better, so that you can make your family better. And why would you not want to do that, seeing that the Lord has given us the opportunity to do that, seeing that that is the requirement that we have to do that? You understand what I'm saying? Um, there is a way that a man, especially men in the truth, can cleanse a woman, and it requires you to care enough to do the work that's necessary to help that woman to get clean. You know what I'm saying? And you can take a woman out of the world, whether you was with her when she was in the world or you get her after she come into the truth. At one point, she was a woman in the world. You can take a woman in the world out and have her to be a reflection of what God said the daughters of Zion was supposed to be. Then you've done a great work. You've done an amazing work. And for every man, not every man is going to be a camp leader. Not every man is going to have a city. Not every man is going to be over a lot of brothers. But if the Lord has given you a woman, he's giving you all of that. And you should be over your woman and loving her and giving her what she needs, providing her the things that the scripture says a husband is supposed to provide, still being a man of the Lord and a soldier at the same time. And there's a right way to do it. There's a wrong way to do it. If you're struggling with it, not sure how to go about it, call and get some counsel. You know what I'm saying? You sisters out there, regardless of if you have a husband, don't have a husband, or how long you and your man have been together, whatever issues or problems you have had in the past, you can overcome them, and you can be better, and you can get back to a place where you're growing together and you're loving one another. But it takes being able to, have conversations and be honest and be transparent. And as women, it's real responsibility to provide a safe space for your man to be able to be the man that you need him to be, if what you need him to be is vulnerable, honest, transparent, talking to you about things that's difficult to talk about. A lot of times we as men don't do it because we feel like we can't. How can we, unless we know that the woman we have is someone that can handle it? There's a way that you as a woman can demonstrate to your man that, I can handle it if you just give it to me the right way. I would prefer to hear it from you. I would prefer to find out from you telling me. I may not like it. I may be upset. I may be angry, but baby, I get that way sometimes. But I would much rather I would much rather rest assured knowing that you would sit me down and have a hard conversation rather than me having to find out on the internet or some other kind of way. You know what I'm saying? And just have grace, man. Like I said, as men, all our lives, whether we was born in the truth or not, I ain't gonna say born in the truth. I don't know what it's like for brothers born in the truth, but as a man that came out of the world, I know how to do whatever I want to do and then deal with you being upset later. It took me having a woman who could, communicate to me that I need you to care about me enough to tell me up front so I can deal with it. Because what I can't do is deal with you playing in my face and lying and pretending like shit ain't going on when I know you enough to know that it's not. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you women, a lot of you brothers have a woman that knows you that way, that loves you that way. You just may not know that she is capable of handling the news and the information up front. But you got to get to that place so that she can have the same peace that you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a way that you can give your woman a peace of mind and give her the reassurance and security that she needs. And you can have other women out. You're gonna have other women regardless. Most of you brothers, you're gonna do it anyway. If you're gonna do it anyway, you gotta know at some point she's gonna find out. If you know when she find out she's not gonna like it, then just get it out the way before you marry the woman. Get it out the way when you first meet her. If you know you're gonna be talking to her, trying to build with her, let that woman have an opportunity of accepting it, and understanding it, or of she gonna leave you because you get another woman, man. Don't get another woman yesterday. I got don't do that. But if you got a woman that you afraid that she gonna leave you if you get another woman, start right now positioning yourself to be able to handle losing her. Because if you have a woman that will leave you because you got another woman, she will leave you for anything. So if you got a woman that you cannot talk to because you're so afraid of what she might do, then brother, you should be positioning yourself to have that conversation, even if there is no woman. Most women really just want you to treat them like adults, treat them like they grown, don't insult their intelligence, don't play in their face. Sit them down, have a difficult conversation, tell her what you're gonna do, and allow her the opportunity to, be upset, be angry, ask questions if she want, and as a man, be wise about it. There's some things that she should know, some things she shouldn't know. Who is she? Don't worry about that. You ain't gotta worry about who she is. Where you meet her at? Don't worry about where I met her at. How long you been talking to her? About 2 weeks now. You know what I'm saying? Was she prettier than me? Look, it ain't even about that. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Me and this woman ain't got nothing to do with me and you. You know what I'm saying? It's just look. If I feel like it's something that's good. The Lord wants to happen, then I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happen. But I want to make sure we sit down and have a conversation first. You feel what I'm saying? That's how you do things the right way. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. But damn, it's gonna be uncomfortable either way. Might as well get the uncomfortable part out the way first, and then you could have the peace and the freedom to move how you want to move afterwards. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to do it, you're struggling with it, call and get some counsel. That's what the men of the Lord are here for. Don't pretend that you know what you're doing if you know that you don't. Brothers, don't be so prideful to think that you know what your way is the way it's supposed to be, and you know how to do things. You know how to deal with women. You're playing yourself. But with that, Priest of Captain Soccer War, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you know what I'm saying, out of 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Since 1969, we've been teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth? The truth is that so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians descend from the greatest people that have ever walked the face of the earth. The Bible identifies us as the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. In the year 2026, there is nothing more important than for God's chosen people to learn the truth of who we are, where we come from, and what our purpose is on this earth. That being said, if you brothers and sisters tuning in, you got family, loved ones, people you care about in the Memphis, Tennessee, Shreveport, Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, and surrounding areas, anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world where you tuning in. If you're looking for a minute of the Lord and looking for a way to be led and guided on how to serve the Lord and do it properly, you're gonna learn here in the ISUPK, man. Tap in with us and get what you need so you can become who the Lord called you to be. And with that, shalom, Israel.